Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the sometimes crazy world of corporate filings. Today we're diving into Uranium Energy Corp's latest report. It's a wild ride involving uranium mines, a possible quadrupling of nuclear capacity, and a CEO who sounds like he's ready to fuel a nuclear-powered race car. But is it all hype, or is there real potential here? Let's find out. Before we jump in, if you appreciate getting straight insights from these corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below where you can discuss these reports with other finance nerds. Uranium Energy Corp, or UEC, just released their report for the quarter that ended in April of this year. The report highlights progress on their mines, some interesting financial numbers, and their position in the uranium market. Let's dig into what's really going on. First up, they fired up a new section of their Christensen Ranch mine in Wyoming. They're calling it Header House 10-7. This is a pretty big deal because it's part of their plan to get their Wyoming operations fully up and running. They also mentioned that another Header House 10-8 is almost finished, so it sounds like they're making some good progress in expanding their uranium production. Meanwhile, down in South Texas, construction is moving forward at their Burke Hollow project. They've installed some major equipment at the plant that handles the uranium extraction, and they're drilling disposal wells, so things are moving along there too. They're also working on something called the Sweetwater Production Hub in Wyoming. They're planning to issue a report soon that describes how they'll use the Sweetwater plant as the central point for a bunch of smaller satellite projects. Think of it like a main hub with spokes reaching out to different uranium deposits. Across the border in Saskatchewan, Canada, they've kicked off a study to see if their Rough Rider project is worth developing. They've already done some lab work on the uranium ore and started the process for a more formal study. To handle all this activity, UEC has been hiring a bunch of people. Their workforce in Wyoming and Texas has grown to over 100 employees. They've added people in operations, geology, and supply chain management. It looks like they're building up their team to support their growing production. Now, UEC is really excited about the potential for the US to boost its nuclear power capacity. They mentioned that some executive orders from the previous administration supported fast-track permitting for new nuclear reactors and aim to reduce America's reliance on foreign uranium. Basically, they think the demand for uranium is going to skyrocket. To that end, they've even signed an agreement with a micro-reactor company to supply them with uranium from Wyoming. This is important for them because the nuclear industry has been getting billions of dollars in order to become stronger and more sustainable in the US. Let's move on to the part everyone cares about, the financials. As of May 30th, they've got $271 million in cash, uranium inventory and stocks, and they're highlighting that they don't have any debt. That's generally a good place to be. A large part of their holdings is in uranium. They have 1,356,000 pounds of it, valued at over $96 million. They are planning on buying 300,000 more pounds, which could be important to them. They have grown the amount of people in South Texas as well. This is important because in that region they are still developing key components such as waste management. Their CEO, Amir Adnani, thinks UEC is perfectly positioned to take advantage of the expected increase in uranium demand. He points to the progress they're making at their mines and their plans to develop the Rough Rider project in Canada. He believes that uranium mining is critical to national security and that UEC is ready to fuel the country's nuclear transformation. UEC has been busy upgrading its facilities. At Christensen Ranch, they replaced piping and recoated some of the equipment used to extract uranium. At Irigaray, they refurbished the yellow cake packaging area, which is where the processed uranium is prepared for shipment. In production area 1, they have been drilling new holes and putting in well casings, simultaneously installing the high-density polyethylene trunk line AXU. Now, let's zoom out and put all this together. UEC seems to be betting big on the future of nuclear power in the US. They're ramping up production at their existing mines, developing new projects, and building up their workforce. Of course, there are risks. The price of uranium could fall, regulations could change, or their projects might not pan out as planned. But if their bet pays off, UEC could be in a very strong position to profit from the growing demand for uranium. They claim they are growing and getting better, but so far no actual numbers show this other than spending, so you should have a good hard look and do the math for yourself. Alright, that's our breakdown of Uranium Energy Corp's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.